really Lee and Kevin were a part of in developing student interns. Actually having students that were going into the program over at Equity Initiatives and learning some basic office skills, but then getting ready to put those into motion. And those of you that have had a chance to be at the beautiful office that we have down at 555-735 Capitol Mall, we have this wonderful front desk that needed to be manned for both the Doc Smith Legacy Foundation, phone calls, information exchange with that, as well as reaching out to our alumni, keeping them involved and engaged. And we found a true blessing. We had a young man I'm going to introduce to you, and I'm going to have him talk a little bit about his background and what having been an intern and been given that chance at Highlands has meant to him. You had a chance to see him on a video at graduation, the last graduation. He's also, I think, done some work with Mike on the mic in that part. But Mr. Richard Andrade, come on up, Richard, who's had the opportunity to work with us. And I think it's important, we thought it was important that you hear why having an intern or having someone train within the organization, what effect that has on both parties. And so Richard, this is what to you. Thank you for taking the time to come and join us.
I almost shed a tear just now. Good afternoon, President Daniels and fellow esteemed members of the board. They asked me to write this on paper because I tend to talk a lot. My name is Richard Andrade, and I would like to thank you, first of all, for allowing me to speak this afternoon. Second, I would also like to thank the staff at Doc Smith Legacy Foundation for all they've done, for their leadership and guidance during my time as an intern for the past 7 weeks. I would like to give you a little background on the journey that led me here today. Back in 1995, I was supposed to graduate from Highlands High School in North Highlands, California. Unfortunately, I was expelled for multiple fights and skipping classes. I immediately started working full-time to help my mother with bills and rent. I had my first child in 1996, my second child in 2004, and my third child in 2008. I was married shortly thereafter. In 2010, my wife and I separated, with my 2 children going to live with her. Around 2015, I fell into a deep depression, and my psychiatrist diagnosed me as suicidal. I then ended up losing everything, including my job, home, car, and family members. I was homeless, living in a tent for about a year, couch surfing for a few years thereafter. My only form of making money was in-stadium sports announcing. Thank you. In or around July of 2019, I decided to register here at the school to finally get my high school diploma. The following month, I was enrolled into multiple classes here at the school. From the very first day, I was welcomed not only by the teachers, but by other students as well. I gained a lot of new friends who became more like family. I quickly became a teacher's assistant to Mr. Shalai, where I performed various duties from clarifying instructions for my peers, tutoring, and motivating. From the educational lessons, potlucks, food distributions, and Operation ELF, it was an amazing experience. When the school shut down for in-person learning in March of 2020, it brought my life down just a little, but I never gave up. Eventually, in May of 2021, in-person learning opened back up, and I came back here to the school. I began convincing other students to come back to the campus as well. I strive to help every student succeed as much as I have here at Highlands. All of my teachers, paraeducators, counselors, and the workforce team made it their mission to help me succeed and graduate. After 27 years, on January 27th, 2022, I am a high school graduate. Just before graduation, I enrolled into an online career technical educational program through Equity Initiatives. Near the end of my CTE class, I was asked by the Workforce Solutions team if I would like to participate in an internship at the Doc Smith Legacy Foundation and Alumni Services. On February 22nd of this year, I started that internship and was met with open arms. During this internship, I learned more about Google Office, PowerSchool, met with the team finally at Equity Initiatives, visited the site at Holy Cross, and visited the brand new Wellness and Media Center. I've had meetings with Jerry Yamashita about digital navigation and Lindsay Curtis with homeless services in regards to the time I spent being homeless. I helped fill many plastic eggs with candy for an upcoming Easter egg hunt for the families of our alumni. In addition to participating in this 3-day-a-week internship, I have also been working another 2 to 3 days work a week at a sandwich shop and 1 day a week announcing semi-pro football games. All the leadership, work skill sets, training, and guidance I have received from the Doc Smith Legacy Foundation, as well as the Workforce Solution Team, has given me the feeling that I am more prepared than I've ever been to succeed in any future endeavors. I cannot thank you all enough for allowing not only myself, but many others that have come before me and will follow after me to succeed, not only here at the school, but after we graduate as well. The dedication from everyone involved with the Highlands Tribe has been phenomenal. Thank you once again, esteemed members of the board, for your time.
Thank you.
Because this is kind of important too. We've given you a lot of lessons downtown. Bianca and Elizabeth have been absolutely fantastic, but I'm going to have you turn around. I want you to look out here for a second. I know it's a little bit emotional, but I want you to look out here for a second because I want to give you one last lesson, and I think it's important. Board, we often say this, right? You hear us say all the time, we got you. We got you. How does a we got you work here? I'm going to show you, because this is going to be real important. You understand this, okay? When you entered the school, I want you to stand. Isabel's team welcomed you in. They registered you. They got you prepared.
Can you come up?
They got you ready. Hey, come on up here. Yes, come over here for a second. That was the first leg. The second piece that happened is you had these incredible teachers that took care of you. And actually, I'm going to ask Nicole, would you stand up and come up here as well?
Nicole, will you please come up to
Because it's under the leadership of people like Nicole and Katrina that made sure you had the right instruction. As you were working your way through this, you had a counselor that made sure they were working right alongside you. Two, would you stand up and come up here with us? Come on, two. Because whether it's with Workforce or whether it's with Myra's team, you had another person who was standing with you. And then you went over into the workforce, or you went over into the Equity Initiatives program, and you had someone like Vaughn Allen. Vaughn, stand up.
You come here.
Come on up here.
Come here.
This is important. And Vaughn made sure that you were able to pick up, his staff was help you to pick up where you had left off to get ready for the next phase of the journey, and that went to Workforce. And that went to Lee's team and Sabrina. You guys come up here. Come on, Lee and Sabrina, come on. Because these two people made sure that you entered the right program and were able to achieve the skill level you just talked about in your own testimony. And then you had fine director like Mr. Taylor. Come up here, Mr. Taylor. Who made sure that you too were cared about. Even if you're one student in a population of 5,000, he shaped a program to ensure that students such as yourself were taken care of. But I have two last people I want you to meet. And you probably haven't met them yet, because it's going to be important you meet them. Pramesh Ram, would you come up, Pramesh? Come on over here and say hi to Richard. This is important. And I'm going to tell you why this is important. Pramesh is our Director of Facilities and Operations, and what he does is he makes sure that we have a beautiful office at 735. He makes sure that the C building looks tremendous. He makes sure that our play care buildings look absolutely fantastic. He serves students in a different way, but it's really, really important because did you feel cared for when you came in? Were the facilities nice? Were they clean? Absolutely. Highly important that that's what students see. And then I'm going to introduce you to one more person, because this is important. Kayla, Karamith, would you come up here? And you're probably thinking, who's this person? Oh.
Hello.
Well, Richard, you're about to have a journey with Kayla, because Kayla directs our human resources. And by the authority given to Mr. Taylor and myself, we are today offering you a position as administrative assistant for Mr. Pramesh Ram in facilities.